Generally intelligent systems are emerging. The future of humanoid robots is clearly coming, with hundreds of millions of VC dollars being pumped into these physical robot startups. But before they begin to do jobs in the physical world, these digital intelligences will obviously start with completing digital work. Gaining clear and concise data and automating massive workforces in the digital world is 1,000 times easier than working in the world of atoms. Bit by bit, this deca-trillion-dollar remote workforce will be automated. Right now, you can ask your computer to make an image or write a blog post, but you still have to go back and forth using these websites to grab and pull information and put it where you want it. The next step in our digital AI assistant age is going from being able to write a blog about X to being able to speak to your computer, asking it to publish a blog on the topic of X on X website once a week, fully automated. The output of the office will slowly rely more and more on these digital intelligences and tap into this deca-trillion-dollar industry. Computer programs are beginning to make doing our jobs easier and easier, and this process is ramping up fast, with large language models reaching a point of human-level capability in contextual understanding, reading, and writing. Computer programmers used to use HTML to create great websites. Now we've built no-code platforms such as Webflow that make it easier to interact with building a website. Now that we have created context intelligence and programming capability, we can create autocomplete for more than just language, but for a vast majority of online work itself. This will enter us into an era where we can truly talk to our computers and watch the work we want to get done. We can give our computers feedback and train these models collectively. That's where the real value is today, being the bridge towards value of taking the digital intelligence and turning it into a value creator, laborer in the job market. It is enabled now by having image recognition capabilities where the computer can tell itself where to click based on an objective. Before we get to Neuralink, where we can think to our computers in order to get certain tasks done, we will first enter a stage where we speak to our computers and also tell our computers which tasks and processes to focus on. I've been doing a lot of thinking of where the moat is today in AI, given OpenAI's data moat itself. Their models are the best, their engineers are the best, but they're fundamentally a different company than automating workflows, of being a bridge to value from the intelligence that they have. Basically, this raw workflow data and the models we can train off of that is the biggest opportunity of this decade, and I believe the biggest opportunity of all of the history of humanity. Right now, I think of GPT-4 as a brain in a vat. The plugins that people can now use will enable more reach onto the internet, but that's not where groundbreaking change to enterprise value will come from. The bottleneck there is the legacy systems in place at big companies. Even though so many great tools exist, actually implementing them into existing workflows and training employees with them is a burden. Instead, the real value is to not disrupt existing workflows, but enable digital agents to replace and automate that work. The data moat that this company builds is from screen recording that remote work and enabling every worker with a generally intelligent executive assistant that they continue to give feedback to train a stronger and stronger model. Every position in the world today exists with a spectrum, a percent of the workflow that can be automated, ranging from 5% to the entire job itself for tasks like data entry, and even surprising ones like filling forms for a CPA or a lawyer. As our models continue to use reinforcement learning, more and more of this for every single job will get capable to be fully automated. The closest competitor to this project is called Adept AI, which is using context intelligence from LLMs in order to automate flows, but still missing the largest moat in creating a great company today, which comes down to recording the data of these workflows in order to train that multi-model system that works with the user as its liaison. The user is the liaison for the models we are creating. With Adept, they're focused on making the LLM the liaison of the human. It's useful, but it's fundamentally missing the largest value that exists, which is fully automating these processes and creating fully automated digital remote workforce. So that was a quick script I wrote about Workplete, the company which we're building a core team for right now. The steps of emergence of this to me is quite clear. First, we are right now just creating a tool that allows us to record these workflows and automatically upload them to the cloud, which is going to be our training data. If you're familiar with MineRL, also called Mineral, this was where they uploaded 11 days of Minecraft playthroughs and gameplay in order to create a model which could then mine diamonds inside of Minecraft. An impressive feat and not that much data. In this case, rather than doing a virtual world game where the diamonds are useless, we are focusing on the real world and the creation of value itself. Next, after we create these recording systems, we will reach out to businesses. We will have people start to record their own workflows with the promise of using their data to train models for them in order to help them create this autocomplete system for their work itself. While we're still in the beginning stages of being able to autocomplete the work, we will have a general assistant that lives in the bottom right corner of the work screen, which when it recognizes a certain workflow starting, it will pop up and say, hey, I know what is going to happen next. Can I help? It can even pop up a roadmap itself where it says, first, I'm going to copy this. I'm going to paste it into this Google Sheet, and I'm going to continue taking data from this website into here. It will be able to identify repetitive tasks and then to offer up a capability to complete them. The same way inside of a Google Sheet, if you use the same formula, you can drag and drop it down, and that formula will be continued on the value set that you are working with. This is possible today, but the reason why it is not big, the reason why there are so many companies who have jobs that can be automated is that bureaucracy aspect. You need to pay a six-figure salary to a pretty good software engineer to manually watch the workflows of different employees and to create software that updates these things, which then becomes outdated very quickly if these systems and programs that they're using change at all. By using context intelligence, actually looking at the screen and having an understanding of button fields and certain things which can be clicked to do certain things, there is no chance that a switch in the interface that a human might use would destroy the bots like it does in standard programming. In this case, we are truly creating eyes for this intelligence in a vat and the arms, which is the capability to use the cursor. I believe that the models that we build inside of this company in order to train the best digital workers would even enable us to be the best company in the physical world space by having a deep understanding of how to take a bunch of data, of how to take a bunch of user input and to train the best model in order to get the jobs done which are needing to get done. The same thing that will need to be done in the world of atoms, but first to be done in the world of bytes. I look forward to having whoever's watching this potentially join this amazing journey. The bigger aspect, of course, of why we want to build this massive amount of leverage in the world is based on taking humanity through the great filter. It is a worry that a lot of these super intelligence companies will not democratize their power. We have a direct path written out how we can enable more and more people to have access to what is being built in order to have humanity collectively rise rather than a totalitarian regime using this new super intelligences to create stronger and stronger companies, which we've already seen in the existing capitalist model, continue to extract from users with engagement algorithms and things that make people worse in order to solely benefit the companies themselves. We operate under a new paradigm called karmic capitalism or enlightened capitalism, where the end goal and resource that we are trying to create for ourselves is good karma itself. We believe this is the only true eternal currency and that all material value, as automation gets stronger and stronger, will go towards zero. Thanks so much. Look forward to having you on the team.